Welcome to the Movies by the Letter podcast show.
I hit my mic
web,
when I did
web
that.
slash web series. Because we're also on YouTube in video format, so it's more than just podcast. This is my last episode. Someone under the weather.
John got canceled.
I thought you were about to say John got cancer. I was gonna be like, "Whoa!"
The bit. I didn't want the bit to go. I didn't want the bit to go that far. I gotta work on my. I gotta work on my opening. My opening monologue.
Yeah, you really
I gotta start
kick this off with a ton of energy.
I gotta start putting in the work outside the studio.
All right, can
Start
I do
looking
my
in the mirror
audition for the intro?
Guys, I'm trying to lip sync.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, ready? This is my audition.
This is great for audio listeners.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Welcome to Movies by the Letter. I'm your host. Come on, we're going.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait.
This
Hold
crowd's
on.
lame.
Wait. Watch this.
All right, I'm ready. I'm losing the energy I got.
I've got the reactions.
We're dying here.
Motherfucker, where?
All right. Well,
Is
let's
it
do
the
what we're
ghost
here to
monkeys
do.
in the background?
No, the react.
Those
and don't
monkeys
call
are
them that. That's my family back there. You're
staring into my soul right now. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, let's do what we're here to do, and let's talk
Yeah,
cinema.
let's get down to the brass tacks.
We're talking cinema, baby.
We did not figure out the order before we started.
And I think first up, what are you guys thinking? I think we do a poll. We each vote.
I think we poll the audience. What do you guys? Raise your hand if you want.
All right, everybody. Say your favorite
Until the
out
end
loud.
of the world. Everyone.
All right, everyone.
That's my favorite.
No, we're gonna go.
too.
We're gonna go by applause.
Last 4 digits of your social security number on 3.
1, 2, 3.
We're really killing this. We're killing it so
Right.
far.
We're just shooting.
Yeah, we're just
But
shooting.
you don't come to this for formal.
Exactly. You come here for
Just
raw
hang out.
takes.
Hang out. You might get some expertise. You might not.
Yeah.
You never know. We have 3 movies today that.
Yeah, that's why you cut all my good bits out, because the PC police might come.
We have an episode today with 3 movies that we're probably very ill-equipped to talk about, to be honest, because we're all stupid. We're not the guys to come to for expertise.
Yeah, we're not. Oh, I'm a film professor. Oh,
Yeah, we're not. If you came here looking for film theory or the deep stuff, you might.
Oh, I really liked this shot because of the composition.
I like the mise en scène.
Oh yeah.
mise en
Oh, it's
scène.
so the lighting. Oh, yeah. Big
talk
fucking
about-
deal. I got 2 ways I measure.
Explosions and boobs.
Yeah, I got 2 ways I measure my movies: boring or awesome.
Epic or Snoozeville. All right, let's start. Who's going first?
I think my background is crumbling right now.
I think
the fact that I'm not in the middle of the screen
that
is
mean?
here's what I'm
throwing
gonna
it
say.
off.
I think Nick's movie should go 3rd.
I agree. Wait, that's the tradition. We always do the longest one.
I don't think that's true,
Last.
but okay.
No, it is true. We've always done. Whenever we pick a lengthy one, we do it last.
All right, whatever you say. I'll have
Okay,
to
whatever.
I'll have to check the archives, but
Go
say we do
go
partners
through our
first. That's my
catalog, and
opinion.
I'll be proving
And-
right.
all right, we can do Umberto D first.
That's what I was thinking.
Umberto
You can take
D.
this, Umberto D.
Umberto D. Umberto D's nuts. Ayo.
Boom. Boom.
All right,
That's our review.
that's your cue.
Umberto D. Famous Italian film. Not famous, but sort of an what
not-
would be
it's
called a
no-
film school classic.
It's not no Goodfellas, but
It's a major player in the Italian neo-realism movement.
who gives a shit? Really?
Oh shoot, I think
You
it's
Is
is
trying
it
to show off right now?
Vito Di Sica? Is that the director? I didn't check
didn't
before.
say what the-
Probably no. It's
I
not
think-
It
a
is.
hard movie.
Right.
It
See,
is
I
that,
pulled
I
that
know.
one up. And it's about a pensioner who ain't getting no pension.
He
And
ain't getting that bag.
he's
not
got
getting
no
the bag.
dough. And
He's got no.
he doesn't know
swag.
what to do.
He's
All
got 99 problems and money is one.
Yeah.
Money is
Yeah,
all
and
of
you know what
them.
else is one of his problems? A bitch. His dog.
He has a line. No, he has a line. Go ahead and
Yes.
say it. We're both men.
So
if
funny.
she's a bitch, she's a
So
bitch.
funny.
One of the greatest new favorite lines
Yep.
in movie history.
That's when the whole theater high-fived at that point.
Yeah, clinking beers together.
Yeah. But yeah, he's got no money, and his bitch landlord just wants nothing but to kick him out so her and her simp husband can move in.
Disrespectful.
And he's just trying to keep his home. You know, he might have to chill at the hospital for a few days to recover. Meanwhile, you got this pregnant girl. She's got 2 guys banging her out. That's a goddamn mess. And
Who
that's
said
pretty
there
much
weren't-
it.
Who said,
Not
whoever said there weren't freaks back in it? Old-timey Italy?
yeah, not the most story-based movie, but what did you guys think of Umberto D?
Who's going? Me?
Eh? It was fine.
I
I don't
liked
know.
it. I liked it.
Yeah.
I wish
I don't have a
I
lot to
got to a
say.
point where I liked it more because I understand why a lot of people like it because it's certainly technically.
like-
I think it's. Go ahead.
This isn't a movie like I have any issues with. Like I feel like it did everything fine for the most part. But like I feel like it never exceeds anything, you know? Like I feel like it just does everything fine. It's a fine movie. It's a good watch, but like I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
It's one of those ones where I can help but feel like it comes down to whether you like connect to it emotionally on an emotional level because I certainly like I thought it was great like technically and everything and there are certainly like moments that I loved but I never felt fully like emotionally invested in the main characters I guess which might that just
Yeah,
might
I
be
agree.
that might be on me. I don't know if I want to fault the movie for that but I don't know.
I don't know because I felt that way too. So
Carter,
I
are you
don't even
gonna?
know why I'd blame it on
I
him.
loved it, so
There we
Go
go.
on. I did love it. I thought it was great.
Have
And
either of you seen?
I did really relate to the emotions of feeling lost and feeling like there's nothing to do and nowhere to go and really just I don't know, feeling like you're helpless against the force of the world and like forces of the world that are out of your control. And this is represented by both the old man being kicked out of his home and like the pregnant woman
And the
not
dog.
knowing not knowing what to do
And the
and
dog
being in like
and
this
that.
moment of like I just wish I could get out of this situation and I've got nowhere to go and you're just stuck in a tricky situation, as they say. And I did relate to that and I really loved this movie. I thought it was great.
Have either of you seen Wendy and Lucy?
No.
It became
What?
very clear to Wendy and Lucy by Kelly Richard. It became very
don't even
clear
know
to
what
me
that is.
early on that movie was like seemed very heavily inspired by this and like beyond the fact that it's just like about a person and their dog because that's what Wendy and Lucy is too. It's about a woman and her dog. But it's also kind of connects with these like anti-capitalism ideas of
Mhm.
how unfair it is, like how unfair everything is, especially in terms of money. Like Kelly Richard deals with that in most of her works, And I guess for me, it just ended up being like that. I ended up connecting to this less than that movie. I don't know if it's just a personal preference or what, but there was just, I hate to like compare them, but they are so similar. I couldn't help but think about it. But there was just this like this mood and tone to Wendy and Lucy that I really like connected with. Maybe it was the fact that it was a younger character and this is an older character. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, but this movie had the younger character who I also felt a
no,
connection
yeah,
with.
I agree, and I think,
And it also showed how like capitalism doesn't just affect like old people who can't work
yeah.
anymore, how it can ruin young people's lives too.
I think my favorite scene in this might be when the younger girl is kind of doing her morning routine in the kitchen, and you can kind of like see that she's just going through the motions and that she kind of understands that she's going to be out of work very soon.
And she just starts crying.
Yeah, and
So
there's
incredible.
there's
so
a lot
great.
of there's a lot of really great examples of like slow cinema being utilized very well in this.
And also like there's a lot of like very like I mean it's not a very show-offy movie. It's very slow and like very simple in its execution, but like there's a lot of like soft beauty, if that makes sense.
I
Of
think
like,
it's
especially like obviously the final shot is really beautiful of him playing with his dog, and basically like just coming to terms with like you should just enjoy little moments of happiness because like it's impossible to create a life where you're always happy, and like it's impossible to fight. It's depressing, but it's also happy. It's bittersweet of like, yeah, you're not going to defeat the forces that are ruining your life. So you just have to hold on to whatever moments of happiness you can grasp. And another moment that was very powerful was when the old man, or should I say Umberto, said goodbye to the pregnant girl in the apartment. That was very emotional. For
there.
me, at least.
Yeah, no, I'm just a stone-hearted. No, there's certainly moments that stuck with me when he's like looking out the window, is like I'm gonna jump, and then like looks over and sees his dog. I think that's a powerful moment. Um, I'm just a sucker for man and dog connections, I guess. I think lighting wise, this movie is pretty perfect. Like on a technical level,
Mm-hmm.
the lighting is great. There's really beautiful shots, even though it's like you said, never anything like show offy. Um, yeah, it seems like for me right now, it seems like something that I might grow to appreciate more if I watch it again. Um, like not for the idea of like I didn't understand it thematically or anything, but like just on sometimes it takes you another watch or a second watch to really like, or it's just a mood thing to really connect with something, and it just didn't fully land with me this time, and I'm can't not quite sure I can explain why.
And like his house being slowly destroyed. I mean, or his room being slowly destroyed was like obvious but really well done symbolism, I thought. Of like his will to live being destroyed, basically.
Yeah, and
And
this
at the end, there's a lot of great symbolism with like the train passing by. It's like the world moving past him and like him feeling like forgotten.
and it's an anti-landlord movie, which
Yeah,
is
which is
awesome.
great. She was such a bitch running,
She's terrible,
running
awful landlady. Nick, anything to
his
say? Anything
apartment.
to add?
Um, I don't know. I kind of said like it's kind of one of those movies where I don't have anything to say. I get it. I liked it, but it's kind of just like it's just fine. I don't know. I wish I could say more about it, but I just feel like I don't have much to say.
Come
And
on, you got a
that's
lovable
it.
old man, a cute dog.
I I do like. I think the very opening of this is super interesting because it creates this idea that this situation isn't just focused on one person by placing them in this crowd. It's like, okay, this story you could have focused in on any single person in that crowd and gotten perhaps a similar story, which I think is just a really great way to open a movie.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the editing was a little odd in the first scene. I think it was great from there on out, but I don't know. But I thought, yeah, it is definitely an interesting choice to have it open with the scene of a crowd and then have it be such an intimate movie. But that's obviously purposeful to show that, like, this isn't like a rare case and like
Yeah,
this
it's
situation
just-
is not a rare thing. And you kind of get that vibe just, especially, well, when he goes to the hospital and there's another guy there who's like, here's how you can stay for an extra week so you don't have to go back out into the real world. And like, there's definitely like this vibe throughout the whole movie of like everyone's kind of experiencing this, or like when he walks the streets you can kind of like, you get glimpses of like everyone's experiencing this poverty. And at the same time it does a good job of creating this world where it's like there's a clear distance between the rich and the poor, especially when he tries to get that man to
oh yeah,
give him money and he refuses and just gets on a bus immediately.
and just when they give him looks when he's trying
Yeah.
to get in the building,
Yeah,
it's a lot communicated with very like simple gestures, which I appreciate.
yeah.
It's interesting because like what ends up doing him in is like obviously his pride, just being like unwilling to even like ask one of his friends for money,
Yeah.
unwilling to like openly beg. Like it would probably work if he did
Yeah,
it.
that scene was really powerful to me too, where he's like struggling with like, because you see beggars throughout the whole movie, and then he just can't bring himself to do it.
What's wild to me is that who the hell walks past a dog
I
with an open
know.
hat and
That's
doesn't like
incredible,
put
man.
in who doesn't put in at least like a quarter? It's like,
I know that's like the best way to
I throw my paycheck in.
get money. Yeah.
but yeah, there are certainly moments that connected with me. There's seeing those dogs get locked up was hard to watch.
Oh yeah, probably my favorite scene from this movie is when he's trying to find his dog at the pound, and I got so nervous. I thought, because I mean it's a pretty dark movie, so I got nervous his little dog would be dead, and very tense scene. Like out of nowhere too. There's just this scene where I was on the edge of my seat, hoping that and you see before that another example of seeing poverty throughout this movie is the guy who's like I forgot how much it was. He's like, it's $4.50 for to get your dog back, and the guy's like, or you kill him, and he's like, yeah. He's like, but it's $4.50 though. Like I can't do it.
Yeah, like it's
Just really depressing stuff.
you should watch
like
you should
that.
watch Wendy and Lucy. I think you'd like it.
I liked Old Joy. Old Joy was good.
Watch Wendy and Lucy. Love that movie. Just a girl and her dog, which it has. Actually, I won't spoil the ending.
Yeah, come on.
There's a moment like towards the very end of this where he just like maybe connect with me the most, where he just like he says this simple phrase, like simple answer of like I'm tired.
Yep.
Like, just his face with that. I wrote that down. It's just like those are like two of the saddest words in combination in the human language. I think anytime those words are uttered in any movie, it gets to me.
I almost posted just a picture of that screenshot of him just being like, I was afraid it'd spoil my thoughts, but
well,
I think we can all relate to
all,
that emotion right now.
Who can relate?
Who can relate? That's what this movie needed, is logic to pop out the back at the end. Man,
like
I can't believe that. Yeah, this is what people used to relate to, and now we have Logic's song we can all relate to.
who can relate? I don't know.
I just want to live. That plays
The
at the
video of
credits.
him, the video of him
Finn.
the video of him in the concert performing that is so
Mhm.
funny. Like trying to get the crowd into it.
You just see Finn, and then you hear, "I just want to live. I don't want to die."
Finn. Oh, okay.
All right,
What?
well,
So
I think that's all I have to say.
Nick put into a lot. Put a lot
like I said,
in
I
this
have nothing
conversation.
to say about this movie.
Listen, sometimes you have stuff to say, sometimes you don't.
You know what they say? Sometimes you gotta know when to hold them.
That's the way-
It's a good movie.
That's the way
it.
Know when
that's
to
the way the
fold 'em.
meatball bounces, as the Italians say. They're named. Everyone's name in this kicked ass. Italians really
Agreed.
have the best names.
Yeah, I think you're a little biased, but
Whatever.
anyways, let's go
Whatever.
scores.
The dude fucking stayed alive just despite his landlord. That's awesome. And
Which, yeah, that's another great thing is that he's like, he knows that it's inevitable that he will be kicked out, but he's literally living while his room is being torn down. He's
and
still in
other
there
people are
kicking
like
it.
living in it.
Yep,
He's a great character.
he is. He's so lovable and relatable and very human character.
Scores. I'm gonna go 7 out of 10.
Nicholas,
6 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Okay. Not bad.
Would
With
be a
an
10
An
and
average.
if Logic showed up.
If who shows up?
If Logic showed up, it'd
Logic
be a
showed up?
10.
The only thing that could make it better. All right. Moving along to a very accessible film.
One that the whole family can
one
enjoy.
that was a hit in the theaters, a smash hit.
It
But
won the
also
Palme d'Or.
Palme d'Or winner. What a way to bring in the 2010s. Uncle Boonmee, who can recall his past lives by, I'm just gonna say Apichatpong, so I cannot pronounce his last name. This movie is
Yeah, what's this movie about, John?
Yeah.
a man who develops some sort of kidney disease and decides he wants to live out his last days with those close to him, and the ghosts of his family appear before him, and he ends up going to the place of the place where he was first born in his first life and passing away there. Not really a plot heavy movie. It's not what it's going for. What do you guys think?
Who wants to go first? Do you want to go first, Nick?
I went first last time.
Okay, I'll go first. I have no idea. It's so weird. I think I'm leaning towards light. I liked it, I believe. It's been in my mind. It's been floating around, but like also like I don't know. It's so bizarre. It's really truly do not know what to make of it as a movie. I think I have a knowledge
You
of
keep
what like
leaning off of the. You gotta make sure
I
you
have,
stay.
I have a
in.
knowledge of what like the general themes are of this movie, but like
Here's what I'm gonna say.
I don't know. It's very odd.
I don't think the conversation today we necessarily have to focus on themes. Well, we can because we can try, but I very much think it's very much like a spiritual film / experience that I don't even know if you're supposed to necessarily understand everything about it from the first try.
It's also like it's so
Here's
like silly and funny at moments too.
here's my experience. I watched it last weekend, and it was a very cloudy, rainy, dark day. And I put this on, not knowing anything about the plot or anything about really what it exactly was besides like the opening image of the monkey with the red eyes. And I kind of just ended up, I don't know how to like describe it, but it was ended up being very like lulled by it kind of.
Me too. I
Like
kept
very like I felt very kind of just like relaxed and like I I think tonally this movie is like perfect. I think the tone, I I don't know what you mean, like I don't know what you're going for, like goofy. Do you mean like the monkey guys?
there's a lot of like silly moments that I thought were
Are you
like
talking about the catfish story?
yeah, like the whole
I
cat
found
like
that really
the cat
disturbing and unsettling.
really? I thought that was funny. Like but I thought it was like intentionally funny.
No, I
And
found
like
that
same with
disturbing.
like
Are you telling me when you see
So-
the catfish swimming between her legs, you didn't
yeah,
laugh a little
the
bit?
catfish sex scene wasn't
No,
funny to you?
I didn't think it was funny. I was like a little disturbed by it.
I don't know. I
And
chuckled at
like
that.
I don't know, I just thought like when the red eyes come up and then you just see it's a man in like a very
And
obvious
he's
monkey
talking
suit.
so normally.
Yeah, and he doesn't even like do a special voice. I just thought it was all really fun.
I liked
like
all
the
that
fact
stuff.
that
When the
like
ghost just appears and they're like, "Oh, hello."
Yeah,
yeah,
I thought that
yeah.
was. I thought anytime someone faded in, I found that really unsettling.
Really? I just thought it was funny how
Yeah.
like no one reacted at all.
That's what I loved about it, was that it was treated as this completely normal thing, because it felt like this very like cultural, spiritual thing that they were able to like. That this was like, I don't know about normal because there was some surprise, but like they accepted it and were like, okay, I get to talk to my family again. I'm not gonna necessarily question it. Like this is normal. And I think what I loved about this is that it treated the idea of death as this very like normal and almost peaceful thing that I like. I really just kind of like connected with. Not, I don't know, like necessarily on like thematic level, but just like on a like very like emotional and kind of I don't know how to describe it really. It certainly is a strange movie but it's one that, like you said, you've been thinking about. I've been thinking about it a lot, and like I want to watch it again. And it's just a really interesting and unique experience.
Yeah, I might watch it again. I don't know. It's just it's very bizarre and it is slow and it's obviously intentionally that way. But like you said, it kind of lulled me, and I watched this during like the middle of a hailstorm, and it was like a really weird experience because it was like yeah, it was like drifting in and out of like reality
It's also
watching this.
it's also like
So weird.
it's like a gorgeous movie. I think visually it's like so beautiful. I think it utilizes the landscape and the jungle so well.
Yeah, I like the
There's
cinematography.
so many great colors. I just think it looked great. Um,
Nick, what did you think? You have been
Um,
you've been quiet over there.
I just watched this movie like not even an hour ago, I'd say. And I have to say, I came out very positively with this movie. I was extremely entertained throughout. Like, I thought the comedy was like intentional when I was watching it. Like, I felt like it
I
just
did
wanted
too
to
at
have
parts.
fun.
Yeah.
like what exact, like besides the monkey suit?
The monkey
I
suit,
didn't
the
laugh
whole
at that.
catfish scene.
The
I thought was
catfish thing I
funny.
laughed
And
at
just how
because it was
like
very
I didn't laugh at
odd.
it.
and how like chill everyone was about like
The
like
ghost
their
fading in.
ghosts
That's what
showing up, and like when they're like Sung, who was a monkey, shows up, they're all just like, oh yeah, this
yeah.
makes sense, he'd be a monkey. Like them just all being
That's
like
I know. That's what
I
I
thought that
liked
was
about
very
it.
funny, and
I liked it too. Like I thought
I
it was
liked
like
it too,
I
but
just don't know if I come down on like the humorous side of it. I came down on the like
well, the
oh, this
movie's
is just
labeled
like,
as a comedy, isn't it?
is it? I
I
On
don't know.
Letterboxd,
I
it
don't know
is.
I don't know what to label it. I
I
get
thought
coming
it
away
was
with it from
funny, but
that.
I thought it was intentionally funny. It's not like a critique of the
Yeah, me
movie.
too.
Yeah, it's I totally get that read of it. I guess maybe I just saw
Yeah,
it
comedy,
differently.
drama, and fantasy.
I it's hard. I feel like that's just people like trying to throw some sort of label on this because it's difficult.
But
to
I
put a
feel like
label
it doesn't
on.
have a label because you say it's plotless, but like there's movies that are plotless. This movie has no plot basically.
Well, it
Yeah.
does have
It's
a
not an
basic.
issue. No, it's not an issue at all because it's still entertaining throughout.
Mhm.
But there is like a kind of basic plot line, but it's so under I don't even know how to say it. Like
It's so
just like
bare.
underlined under everything else that's happening.
It's like there's like that 30-minute scene at the table where the ghost shows up and then their son shows up, the monkey son shows up.
Yeah.
I
And like
just love
that's
how
like the
like
majority of, or like not the majority, but like a huge chunk of the movie. And like then from that it goes right into this side story which isn't related plot wise at all with the other story.
well, it's
And then there's
all
like
okay. You said plot wise, yeah.
and then there's like long scenes in the caves where it's just like
God,
holding
that
on
cave is
the
gorgeous.
The cave is
cave
amazing.
walls.
Oh
Yeah.
my god,
Like
I
the
just
cave looks so good.
I just love like talking about the 30-minute dinner scene. I just really just love the idea of like this guy being like, I don't really care in what form or how my family comes back. Like they're here. I get to talk to them again, and like just this idea of like it gets into this idea of like reincarnation and like attachment not to places but to people. That's like
Mhm.
really heavily implied. Like there's a line literally where he's like, ghosts aren't attached to places; they're attached to people. I think there's a lot of like really interesting stuff going on with that, and like I'm trying to think what I had stuff planned out to what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
The
here.
whole like story about people from the past coming and getting like erased by photographs. It's like I'm not entirely sure what to make of all of that, but it's like there's very clearly these ideas he's going for that kind of are, like I said, we're not the I'm not the right person to talk about this just because I'm not. Sorry if I'm
Is
going
there
on
a
and
right
on.
person to talk about this?
Yeah. I think there's certainly
See,
stuff like
that
there's certainly stuff with like the culture between like Thailand
Yeah,
and
true.
Laos that's
Probably.
going the migrant workers stuff. There's a lot of stuff. I think there's thematic stuff going on there.
that aspect, the what you said about like just being happy that like your family members returned no matter what the further, that was a part I thought was missing from the movie. Like
Really?
none of them seemed happy or like excited that their family members returned. And like they just all just like calmly talked to them
I
and
know,
like,
but that's what I like because
but I didn't get
it was
like the
so
aspect of like
normal.
being like thankful that like your family members have returned. Like
He
I don't
literally
know. It was so
there's like a
dreamlike.
5 minute long scene where he hugs her and talks about how he can't wait to be with her again.
Yeah, but I didn't get any like emotions out of
You
that.
didn't
Like
have any emotion.
everything
That
felt emotionless performance wise, which I think was
I
somewhat
disagree.
intentional because it's supposed to be so dreamlike and like hypnotic, but
I
like
think there is emotion there. Specifically that hug scene. I was like I thought that was really sad and like but like also like very sweet and like I said understanding of like death may like death is not being this final chapter
where he hugs the ghost
yeah where he
and
embraces
they
her
disappear
and
and she
talks about
disappears.
he talks about how he's going no matter what he's going to find her when he dies. It's just such a like I just thought that was a really powerful moment that I really loved and
Mhm.
there's a lot of little
I
stuff like
agree.
that.
Yeah, I didn't get much emotion out of this other than just having like a
Yeah,
very
you just like relating to
dreamlike.
old
Yeah,
coots.
you just want old white guys to
Yeah,
be
this
on
is
the
Oh
screen.
yeah,
very
this guy. Oh, he only wants the old white
thematically
guys.
similar to Umberto D.
Yeah, I don't
Honestly,
know.
if you liked
It's
Umberto D, you would love this movie.
yeah, I don't know. It's like this movie has this feeling about it that I don't know quite how to describe, and I'm not sure if I'm like fully connected to it, like on the spiritual level that I was even supposed to be on a first viewing. I feel like I need to watch it again, but I don't know. There's just something about it that I really, really loved.
Yeah, same here. Like I said, I was thoroughly entertained throughout. And there's a lot of shots that kind of like shocked me. Like when they're about to leave for dinner and he looks back and they're still on the bed. I don't know what to make of that, but it was a
So
cool,
saying, I
cool
think there
little
was some
idea.
like, I think the first shot of the guy of the monkey with red eyes, where he's just a shadow,
Yeah,
is really
that's
like
genuinely like
scary.
it's a great way to start a movie. And
Yeah,
like
that whole
anytime you see
opening.
those red eyes in darkness, it stands out so much. It's like amazing. I love how they did that.
Yeah, it's just that- it's just a movie I really want to understand more because there's a lot of stuff going on with like
Yeah, I would love to read like an essay about someone who knows more about this culture and knows more about this because I feel like it'd be really interesting. Because I want to read into this shit.
yeah, because there's just a lot of stuff with like how we're connected to our past like past cultures and like
Mhm.
how the idea of like reincarnation, like not a literal reincarnation, but like the stuff our ancestors passed on being sort of them reincarnating themselves through like stories and like memories. I think there's a lot of like
Or a
powerful
farm.
stuff there that I'm kind of rambling because I don't really know how to like explain all this, but because I'm just not good at talking. But
Some good things don't need explanation,
that's what I'm
honestly.
saying. I think it's also totally fine to like not understand any of this and just come away with it
Yeah,
like just out of pure feeling, you
Mhm.
know.
because like there's some stuff in David Lynch movies I don't understand. He still says no one understands Eraserhead. I think it's bullshit, but
Yeah.
you know, maybe we're never meant to understand.
Here's a quote I got from a Letterboxd review that I thought was really good. It says, Uncle Boonmee is a personal response to being unsure about the lines between death, culture, and nature, and where these lines lie and if they can be moved. And I thought that was just a really like
Mm,
kind of great summary of because this and I saw someone else being like they weren't even sure if the director entirely knew what he was going for,
Mhm.
but this was like his way of trying to explore that. And
yeah.
I think a
What
lot
do
of
you
that's
guys
there.
make of the catfish scene?
Like I said, I laughed. I thought it was, and I don't know. I don't even know what to
That
make
just
Bit
of
gets
of
it.
into
a
that just
bit of a
gets
Was
into
he a
goofy side
catfish?
it just gets into
side
like
plot that
the
came out of nowhere.
That was his past life.
I
He
don't
was the
know. I thought it
catfish.
was I don't know. I kind of thought it was a little sad because it's just about this woman who is
I mean, there's
so
subtext that
Yeah, so there's
it's
stuff
sad,
about
but
aging.
yeah, she's
And
so unhappy with the way she looks,
I think she gets
like
raped
the
by
way
a
she's
fish.
aged that she's like
then you
willing to
gotta. Well, was it? I don't know if it's rape.
I think it was
Yeah,
consensual.
maybe it was
It
consensual.
looked pretty consensual.
It's the same the
Consensual.
She
guy
looked
the
like she
guy
was on
mated
it.
with a freaking monkey. I wish we got to see that scene.
I wanted to see that sex scene. And then he
Yeah,
becomes one.
I don't think I liked it as much as you guys, but I still enjoyed it, and I'm still very
It's okay to be
interested by it.
racist.
It's okay. Well, you're the one who now has the sound bite that says it's okay to be racist. So
Gotcha. Plucking that.
got
Whatever.
Plucking
you.
that one. Look at these guys. If you don't like this movie, these guys are coming.
These guys will show up in my backyard.
If you don't like this podcast in 5 seconds, this will be under your bed.
Yeah, share with 5
And it's
people.
the catfish.
Share with 5 people, or the catfish will show up in your
The
bathtub.
catfish will show up in your bathtub.
I don't know.
God.
I'm again, if you're looking for real insight,
Very
smart
experimental.
insight,
Go
if you're looking
somewhere
for
else.
someone smart to talk about this, go elsewhere.
No one here.
I mean, maybe like if I watched it 20 times and then like instead of talk about it on a podcast, tried to actually write something.
Yeah, maybe.
You're not gonna get that here, though. You're not gonna get good insights or
We're all about rushed
or
insights.
well put together arguments. It's about watch it and then just talk about it.
None of you guys even know what's going on.
Hot
I didn't
takes
watch
only.
This movie. I made all that shit up.
Yeah, I just watched the trailer.
just
I
watched
read
Joe's
a
review.
plot synopsis.
Oh, yeah,
Synopsis.
I'm sure a plot synopsis would really.
What do you guys think Angry Joe would think of this?
Worst movie I've ever seen.
Yo, check out this joke.
And you see, this is why Parasite should have lost the Joker. I've said it
I need
once. And I've
quiet.
said it.
That was not Joe.
Wait, listen to this.
Joe definitely thought that though.
Listen
There's
to
no
this.
way he.
Fuck. You have no idea.
There's no way he wasn't secretly itching for a Joker win.
Let John talk. I'm done. I'm done with your realization. Your fucking stereotypes.
Of Angry Joe.
Every white guy wants Joker to win. That's what you think. If he has a goatee and he's white, he wants Joker to win.
Reddit moment.
All right, John, you can talk now.
Uncle Boobie.
That's
Uncle Boobie. Speaking of Joker, it's like him at the comedy club.
yeah. Let's try pulling. Let's see how relatable that joke is.
I'll do the
Uncle
Joker.
Booby who can recall
His past wives.
Past wives, yeah.
Bingo. All he has to do is picture them
All he has to do is touch their boobies.
in his mind's eye.
He can recall them, and they're all
Alright.
monkeys. They're all
Scores.
gorillas.
What's the score? I'll kick it off. I'm going 8 for now. Could go up.
I'm going 6. Could go up.
8 out of 10. Could go up.
There we go. I was worried you guys were going to come in and take a dump all over this movie.
I was borderline not
Well, I
liking
go
it
poopy.
until like halfway through, and then I started to like it a little more. But I definitely
He's
see why
gotta-
people don't like it, though.
Well, yeah. That's any experimental movie.
Yeah, but some less than others, I guess. Because, I mean, most experimental movies are only sought out and watched by people who want to watch experimental movies.
I know no one's flipping through the
Yeah, no one's going to
the
accidentally...
Amazon,
No one's going to stumble upon...
flipping through
Uncle
the
Boonmee.
Netflix. Oh.
Oh, what's this picture?
I mean, they're bringing
Kids.
they're thinking about bringing a shuffle function to Netflix. So that'd be
They already do have one.
Oh, they
Do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying
it's
to
called-
use
do it
that.
once.
to pick
Netflix
the
is now
movies.
Netflix is now copying live television.
Hang
It's
on.
all
let me-
coming full
let me s-
circle.
Let me talk about this bullshit though. I used it once and it picked a random episode of The Office in like season 2. So I don't
What
know
if-
what the fuck?
What if every time
Wait, it also
shuffled, it
works-
just gave you episodes of The Office?
Wait a second, it shuffles with like television too? Because it could just
guess
shuffle you
so.
into a random episode of like a linear television show.
Yeah.
Episode
Like,
4
oh,
of Queen's Gambit.
Like, oh, now you're
Yeah.
watching season 3,
Oh,
episode
what
6 of
happened
Breaking
before?
Bad.
No, I just started episode 4.
There's no.
I don't know. I put my Netflix on shuffle and
Yeah, there's
watched
no.
three-
It's
Shuffle.
just all media on Netflix.
put
I've
me
watched
halfway-
four. I've watched 4 episodes from 3 different seasons of The Crown. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
trying to piece together what's going on. I don't know.
It just puts you in random parts of a movie too. You're like halfway through.
Sounds awesome, actually.
On me halfway through, There Will Be Blood. I've got no idea what's going on.
I
the hell?
drank a milkshake. What's
Yeah,
going
it drops you in at the very end.
Yeah.
Why is he so angry at this guy?
What's this thing about milkshakes? What's going on here? Oh my God! He just killed a man. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, if you haven't seen There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, just beep
Bro,
beep
if
it
you
out.
haven't seen There Will Be Blood,
And
get
again,
out.
you didn't
Get
s-
out of my podcast if you haven't.
That's one of the
seen that.
best movie endings ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the best movies ever.
I
to be
rewatched it.
honest.
It's incredible.
So good. So good.
Too bad Daniel Day-Lewis sucks as an actor.
Oh yeah.
Boom, boom,
Mic
hot
drop.
take.
Paul Dano.
I don't
That's
wanna
his name,
act-
right?
I don't want to actually.
Yeah, he's a
drop
great
it.
actor.
He sticks.
Yeah, Paul Dano.
Props to him for like he's neck and neck with Daniel Day Lewis that whole movie.
Oh yeah.
Performance.
Yeah, and if you
I
don't
just
like
him as the
him,
Riddler.
if you
he's
don't
the
like,
Riddler.
if you don't
Yeah,
like
he's gonna
him,
be
he
the
gets
Riddler.
beat up in Prisoners pretty badly. So if you wanna,
And in There Will Be Blood.
yeah,
He gets beat up.
He
Well,
always gets
leave
I
it-
forgot about.
He- That's his shtick. He always gets beat up.
Yeah, I saw YMS was just talking about that. How Paul Dano gets beat up in every movie.
Awesome.
He
Oh,
does
yeah.
kind of have a punchable face.
He does.
I
Him
mean,
and
I guess.
the other guy.
Him and Cillian Murphy.
Killian Murphy.
Killian.
Paul
It's
Dano
Killian.
face off.
Oh.
Yeah, who
I
would
feel
you
like it
punch?
should be Cillian.
Who would you punch first?
I definitely punch Killing Murphy.
Me too.
No, I'd punch Paul Dano.
Really?
Killian Murphy's got that perfect jaw.
I mean,
can't
Paul
punch him.
Dano talk. Have you heard Paul Dano talk?
No.
It's kind of annoying, like his normal voice.
Criterion
Yeah,
talk?
it's kind of like it's
Yeah.
kind of annoying.
All right, who's got
It's
the
like,
better? Who's got the better chin?
Just watching his closet.
It's-
Travolta or Murphy?
This film really.
Oh fuck!
Who do I-
Killian Murphy more than Travolta.
You would punch Travolta in the face.
No, I'm saying who's got the better face?
Oh, Travolta, of course.
I started
That's why
watching.
Face Off is the
Murphy.
perfect movie,
I
because
started.
he
I
picks
started
two
watching,
people with perfect faces.
I started watching Gotti the other night, and whew,
Why?
it starts off the first scene. He's the first scene is quite literally him turning to face the camera and being like, "New York, the greatest fucking city in the world." It's so
Doesn't
good.
Pitbull
And
do
then
the
the
soundtrack
credits,
for that
the
movie?
opening credits is a Pitbull song. It's so good. I gotta finish that.
Mr. Worldwide.
It's so funny.
Timber.
Oh, it's literally it's like Walk Hard,
Is there a-
but for
Is
mob
there a
movies.
gang hit place to what's a good Pitbull song?
I just love
Fireball.
Travolta. I just love Travolta doing the Italian. I could watch him
Bow.
doing the Italian for ever.
I need you to whack this guy. It's going down.
Apparently, there's a
going
lot
down.
of hilarious needle drops in that. There's a review of it that just lists a bunch of them, and one of them is when he beats the court case. They play walk like an Egyptian as he walks out. And that sounds so awesome. I gotta finish that.
I love movies with misguided music choices. They're so
I do
funny.
too.
You like waves.
Serenity is one of my favorites.
Didn't the
The
Great
music in that-
Gatsby movie have Jay-Z
God.
do the soundtrack?
Don't even talk about that.
I hate that
fucking
movie.
soundtrack.
I haven't
Like
seen
it's
it.
like a classy roaring 20s party, and all you hear was
It's
"Wake the
Jay-Z.
fuck up, motherfucker."
It's, but it has like the instrumental that's
oh,
trying to
so
be,
hard, motherfucker, trying to fight me.
but it has like the jazzy
Boom.
1920s instrumental to it,
Boom.
like da-la-da-da-da-la-da. And then it's like
Everyone's, like,
Jay-Z.
floppers.
It's like fucking Jay-Z over it. Like, what
I
the
got
hell?
99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Gotta get that
Yeah.
green motherfucking lights.
I'm a businessman. I feel like he definitely dropped the I'm a businessman as Gatsby entered into a room at one point.
Oh my God. I
Gatsby-
think that
I'm
song
not a
was for the
business. I'm not a
soundtrack.
businessman.
I'm not a businessman, I'm a
business.
businessman. They played that right as Gatsby.
That's one of the
opened
greatest. That's
to
such
the
a good
match.
line.
Can we
that's
think
such a
of
good
more?
line.
He said it
added
not even on his own
soundtracks?
song. It was on a Kanye
Such
song.
a good line.
That's
the
let's
best
get
song of the album.
Kanye on.
That might
There's
be
a
Kanye's
Jaws
best
remake
song.
coming out, so let's get Kanye on the Jaws remake.
Yo, the Tom and Jerry movie. We gotta talk Tom and
Oh
Jerry.
my God.
Has Kanye
my
starred in
God.
any
That trailer.
movies? Has he been in any movies outside of his own?
We out
Who?
here getting loose.
I didn't watch the full Tom and Jerry trailer. I was doing work and
I did. It was.
I caught a
god-awful.
glimpse and I was like, this.
It looks really
is
bad.
bad.
Oh my God! It looks like it's from 2005 or something.
It looks bad.
They're trying to
Like-
hop on the live action trend.
They should have.
Yeah, Sonic worked.
They
out
should have gave
so
it the
much.
They should have gave it.
Sonic
the
did work out. Sonic made a shit ton of money.
No, that's why they're gonna do another trailer, and they're gonna be like, "Look, we fixed it."
Yeah, you're probably right.
No, it's
honestly.
not the. It's no, because they're not. What if they should have Garfielded it and done like the live action Tom and
Okay.
Jerry?
They should have Garfield it and had Bill Murray do both voices.
Tom, they don't talk.
They do talk.
Exactly.
In the OG cartoons, they talk a lot actually.
I don't like that.
There's heavy dialogue
It's weird.
scenes.
They have monologues.
Yeah.
I drink your milkshake.
Yo, if they recreated that scene in Tom and Jerry, in this Tom and Jerry movie,
It'd be great.
It would make it all worth it.
Who?
All right, what the hell are we
who would
talking
be
about? Can we
who?
move on?
We've spent like 5 minutes.
Sorry, guys.
Were you about to say who would beat who, Tom or Jerry?
Yeah, who would be the one
Tom or
beating the
Jerry?
other one to death?
I thought Jerry always won, but
Tom would
rewatching the originals, it's a pretty tight match. Sometimes Jerry would win, sometimes Tom would
I know, they
have the
always
last
switch it up.
No,
laugh.
I'm just thinking of the There Will Be Blood end scene, but it's like cartoon sound effects.
Bonk. Someone's got to make that. And when they're running through the alleys, running
when
through when they're
He
running.
bowls-
Yeah,
He
Yeah, when-
bowls and Paul Dano turns into 10 pins and gets knocked down.
yeah.
When he
No,
bowls that
when they're running down the bowling lanes, it's like the like running sound effect from like Looney Tunes.
I've
know what I'm
been
talking
meaning to
about?
do a Looney Tunes binge. 'Cause it's all on HBO. All right, what the hell are we doing? Come on.
We got a 5-hour movie to
focus.
discuss.
I know
Yeah.
it's gonna be with the discussion has to be half the length of the movie, so strap in.
Oh my
We've got a while to go.
All right.
Until
You've got to explain it.
Wait, yeah,
front-
until what?
the end of the world.
Do we have a while
Which
to
we all
go? I
know.
don't know.
Yeah, yeah. The title's feeling like it's not a not so distant future, as they say.
I gotta pull up my notes for this one.
In
But also,
in the future year
yeah, me
of
too.
1999, cars have the Switch cartridges now, I think.
Yeah.
Or cards that you
No,
just put in
yeah,
like a
yeah,
disc
the-
tray. I don't know.
and the
if
slowest
collect-
and most inconvenient GPS possible.
Yeah.
You collect music on like Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Here's my mixtape.
That sounds kind of sick.
A girl named Claire. She is French, I believe. She's sick of her life of partying. And she wants to go out and have a real life. Until very drunk man throws
She's
a beer
sick of
bottle
Dave.
right through her
She's sick.
windshield.
She's sick of David Byrne.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
opens with a pretty kick-ass Talking Heads track.
Soundtrack.
I know.
Whole soundtrack
This
kicks
movie
ass.
has a pretty bumping
does.
soundtrack. Anyways,
Is
this
known
movie
for
is
that.
just basically like it's like a
I'm getting
world
my
hopping
notes.
movie where Claire hunts down this guy. Fuck, what's his name?
Yeah, I feel like we should pull up the names just because this might be lengthy discussion.
His name's
Didn't we fucking say on the back of the box?
motherfucker. It's hold up, I got this.
Wasn't it like Sam?
Chad.
Oh, I think it might have been
yes,
Sam.
it was Sam. It was Sam.
but
but
not
he
to be
was going
confused with
by, like,
Sam
an
Neill, who
alias.
played the other guy.
Yeah, I was gonna
More
say,
like
who's the other
Sim
guy's
Neill.
names?
Yo, what's up with Sam Neill and being possessive over women in movies?
I know.
Sam
Something-
Neill being like
He's
Sim-
typecast.
Sam Neill is dating this girl Claire. even
Claire,
though-
Sam, and then
Who's the?
Eugene.
Okay.
Eugene is
Oh,
the
that's a
Sam Neill.
perfect name for his character.
And Chico, he's the one that threw the bottle through her windshield. This is a mess. The way I'm describing this is a mess. It probably makes no sense if you've never seen the movie.
I mean,
Chico's which
anyways.
one? Which one is Chico?
He was the drummer.
Oh, okay.
There you go. See?
that's just, all right. We don't
Anyways,
have to get too.
It kind of just turns into like a world hopping movie where they end up in Australia because his blind
Zealand.
mother, they're using like dream technology to make her see again. What did you guys think of Until the End of the World?
That was one of the worst.
It's fine. It doesn't
explanations
matter. We
of-
can
of
get
all-
into
maybe
it.
of all
It's a
time.
5-hour movie.
Maybe
Yeah, it's
in
hard
this
to
podcast,
explain.
you didn't
it's-
explain one of the main premises, which is that there's a bomb that's about to drop on the planet.
Who
It's
cares?
fine. It's like literally the reason.
It's a
we
movie.
have
It's
the
simply a
decisions.
movie. It's a movie about chasing
It's a movie about
until it's
a
not.
road trip.
It's a movie
like a
about
road
chasing. It's a road trip for half of its length, and then it's
Yeah.
That's
a
why
completely
it's
different
so
movie.
confusing
half.
that you watched it in 3 acts because it splits perfectly into 2 acts.
Yeah.
No, I see where it could split in half, but what he said doesn't make sense. I mean, split in thirds.
I didn't make the parts.
Here's how I would have
Yeah,
split
what the
it.
hell?
Right?
You're such an idiot.
Here's how I would have split it.
All right, listen up.
After 2.5
Yeah.
ish hours, split it there. Right after the road trip portion ends.
So you're splitting New
Then-
Zealand into 2 parts?
Yes, because there's the part where they get.
So are you splitting it after
There's
she
the
dies?
part there.
After
Yeah,
the mom
there's the part
dies?
where he gets his mom's to see, and then she dies, and then there's the part after that where Eugene says, "You might think this is where the story ends, but there's one last frightening chapter."
Yeah, but I think those two.
With
I
a
think
good
the whole
hour chunk. There's a good
think the-
hour chunk of them being addicted to their phones. Well, not their phones, but that's the parallel that can be made today.
I think it's no. I think it's
But-
deeper. I think it's deeper than that.
Well, yeah, but that's the most obvious.
I would say
I know,
it's
but I don't
deeper
think
than that
that's
because
necessarily-
this was made in 1991.
I don't think that's necessarily what he
Even
was going
before
for. We'll,
phones.
we'll
No, it's
talk
not,
about that.
but,
We'll talk
whatever.
about that.
But they're
Obviously, the
addicted
parallel is
to
there.
they're addicted to seeing their own dreams, and then which
they're
obviously
addicted to
there's
a
a lot to talk
false-
about that.
They're addicted
But
to a
then-
false reality.
But then that's like a good hour chunk, and that's how I would split it because they're all very distinct and paced differently.
I can tell you
think.
how the Blu-ray
guess-
split.
I just think
Yeah, let me
the.
know.
I just think the whole New Zealand. I think that works. I think it's best split into 2, not 3.
Okay. The Blu-ray is split like this. The first part is about 2 hours and 11 minutes, and then it's done. And then just the rest of the movie on the second disc.
I think that's about where the bomb.
No, the bomb doesn't go off until like 2:40.
No, the bomb?
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
That might be
Because they're still in
when he's getting
Australia
his
when the bomb
eyes
goes
fixed.
off.
Then maybe it doesn't
I
matter.
think
It doesn't really
so.
matter.
You might
Doesn't
be
really
right.
matter. We're talking about stuff that doesn't matter.
I don't know how they split this in half. I
don't know.
I
I'm
thought
gonna
they
watch the movie again. So.
I thought
You're
they
gonna watch it
might
again?
the
Yeah, I'll watch it
5-hour
again.
cut
Is
or
that a
the
pre-
2.5 cut.
The 5-hour cut.
I'm interested to see the.
I'm interested in the 2.5 as well because I don't know how they would have cut it without. I honestly think they might have just cut out the entire bit in Australia.
which I think would be a major
That'd be-
mistake.
Yeah, it would be a
That would be
mistake.
a major
but the-
mistake because that's where most of like the story happens.
The tagline of the movie is the ultimate road movie, and if the majority took place in Australia, I'd be pretty pissed off that the whole movie takes place in like one location, and it's called the
Yeah.
ultimate road movie.
It's the ultimate.
This
road
is
movie.
hard to
We
like.
spent all of it
I
in
don't.
Australia.
It's hard to like know where to
It's
start
very hard to
talking with
review.
this. It's hard
Yeah.
to. So I guess we could
It's
start
so
with
long.
like we could start with like general feelings.
All right, general thoughts. What did you guys think?
Okay. So this movie, it starts as this like globe-trotting sort of showcase of the world, which I think I liked. I liked that aspect of it. I think this is a beautiful movie. I think it's shot excellently. I think in the
Agreed.
first act, it struggles a little bit with like pacing and not to the point where I was like uninvested, but I think it's a lot of chasing, and it's a lot of chasing, which is like obviously I think that's like purposeful, but I'm not sure. I also think that I'm kind of just going all over the place with my thoughts here. I think the main girl's performance is not that great.
Really?
I don't think it was. I think it was a little stiff.
I
Not
liked it a
terrible,
lot.
not
I thought
terrible,
she
but
was
not great.
fine.
That's what I'm saying.
She's
I
not
didn't-
super
I-
memorable, but I thought she was good for what.
Yeah, I
I-
would
I-
agree.
I don't know,
She was good for what she had to do.
I suppose. It just wasn't anything mind blowing. I don't know if I think Max von Sydow's performance was great.
Was he the detective?
He's
No,
the
he was
father.
the father.
Um,
Yeah. I was about
But
to say my
yeah,
favorite
the
character
first-
is easily the detective.
The detective's
fir-
a lot of fun.
the first half is like it does kind of make do on that sort of like ultimate road trip movie as it is about like this sort of chase. Like it starts with her chasing this guy, or her chasing a new life, and then she starts chasing this guy, and they start chasing their mother, and like the whole first half or 3 hours or so is about this chase. And then it shifts into this very like sci-fi and like almost has experimental elements of like this kind of like tight movie about a tight community, and a movie about like
Yeah.
discovering home in a way. And then and
Mhm.
then as you said, the final hour it gets into this like really trippy experimental like philosophical stuff with like escapism and not being able to accept the reality around you.
Mhm.
And sorry if I'm rambling on again, but you guys haven't seen The Leftovers, right?
No.
No,
But
I want to though.
this reminded me a lot in the sense that I'm a fan of stories that kind of take this major world event, like this apocalyptic event, or like post or pre, or they're all facing down this sort of apocalypse. And like, instead of focusing on like the major world, they tone it down into very like personal stories within this apocalyptic setting. And I think this does that really well. And it just a lot of this reminded me of The Leftovers, and like how people deal with knowing that like death is inevitable is and might be coming soon. And I think there's someone else take over because I'm
All right.
Yeah.
gonna.
I really like this movie. I thought it was great, but it's very
I
flawed, I
agree.
think.
I agree.
But
I
I
also
think
agree.
the positive qualities outweigh the negative qualities
It's
for sure.
it's just
But
like this mammoth.
it's definitely flawed, and I don't know. I think I might have liked the first half more than the second half, because I do think the second half could have been cut down a little, and I do think it kind of takes a while, especially with the stuff with getting his mom to see. I think that stuff went on for a bit long, and I thought it went on longer than it needed to. I do think there's scenes. So for me, I think the second half of the first half is paced kind of weird. And it's not like the whole bit is paced weird, but it's like there's specific scenes that feel like awkwardly cut and awkwardly edited in. And I wrote down a couple. The scene where they get jacked at the car dealership was just
Yeah,
bizarre.
I was expecting that to come back.
And
But
the scene when they're in the Asian hotel. Do you know what I'm talking about? And the
Yeah,
detectives
that's a
locked up.
weird. That's a really weird.
Really odd
Yeah.
It's
scene.
like an
And it's
action set piece dropped in the middle of this
yeah,
thing.
and it does not belong in this movie at all.
That's why
And
I kind of digged it. I kind of dug it though.
I think the first hour is where
I
this movie
admit,
really excels at being what the tagline is, which is the ultimate road movie, which is like there's like a new location every like 10 minutes, and it's like got this very quick pace, and I was very invested in the
Yeah, and
story.
it's just her jumping from like task to task, like freely kind of flowing between these plot points, and like you said, the scenery changes so much.
Yeah, and
True.
it moves so quickly that it's a really enjoyable experience. And like you said, like there's always like a purpose to where they're going, and that's why I think the second half feels a little odd. Is because it's a lot less like boom, 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 and a lot more like okay, there's one goal, and we're gonna spend an hour of them trying to reach this goal, and like focus more on character stuff, which I still think works really well. It's just very jarring after what the first half was, and I think that's what
yeah,
it makes it difficult to judge this movie as like a whole, because it's so different between one half and the second half, and it's very odd.
But
It's
I do think there's like I do think there's enough like thematic connection between them. For me, it's like what ended up working was seeing these two people who were so like explorative and like curious about the world, and like going and seeing the entire world, like being kind of boiled down to being obsessed with their own dreams. I think that whole arc is just really great and well done, and like was kind of sad that when they were like obsessed with it towards the end. It felt
Mm.
very sad seeing these people who were so like
Yeah.
invested in reality kind of lose that because of like just being unable to want to comprehend the world around them, you know.
But yeah, and because of technology, I think
Yeah.
that's a major
Yeah,
thing.
it's definitely
is
about
how
like like digital.
technology can invade our headspace so much that just becomes our lives, and that's where I think there are pretty obvious parallels to today.
Yeah, but I just think I do think
I
it's
don't see
more
that as
than
a
just
downfall of the movie at all, though.
What?
I don't see that's a downfall at all. That
No,
how
I think that's what
comparatively
makes it
they-
good.
Yeah, I think
I think that's
like
what makes it
it's
work.
so odd how well they were at predicting like everyone being addicted to their phones.
Yeah, that's what
Because
I think is so good about it. It's that it does
Yeah.
really capture that feeling of like no one really is like aware of their surroundings anymore,
but I
and
think it
especially
gets
now, I feel like just as humanity spends so much time in front of like without a doubt everyone spends more time in front of a screen than just like enjoying their surroundings, and that's what makes
Yeah.
it such a huge contrast between like these
Mhm.
people who want to see like every inch of the world versus like people with no interest in like anything around them.
Yeah,
which is what
definitely.
makes it interesting that like didn't the satellite dropping like kind of take out a bunch of technology?
Yeah,
Which is I
Yeah,
think
it fried all their
which is why
technology.
it's like interesting that like they weren't obsessed with the technology necessarily before, but they were after. And I think what makes that final stuff with the dreams work is the hour before it with them trying to do the thing with the mother, because there's
Mhm.
so many little scenes in that of them just like playing music or like just hanging out in this small community that like
That's the stuff I loved.
they're really just like it just felt like the entire first half of this movie was these people trying to find home or not, or maybe like trying to find like a new home, I guess, or trying to find a place of comfort because they were not comfortable with where they were. And then like the second half being like they find it in this community, and then I think the last hour is a little sad the way they kind of lose that again. I just think for this being a 5-hour movie, it does. I think it works thematically really well, and I think it like like story wise connects these themes really well.
I agree. And as like a whole, I think individually there's a lot of problems with it, and there's individual scenes that were pretty messy, but like as a whole, it works really well. And honestly, if I were to recommend this to someone, I'd recommend it to I recommend to watch it in 2 parts,
Mm-hmm. That's how I
because
do it.
I think it
that's
can be.
why
I think watching 5 hours of anything can be draining. Because I watched
I
this with
watched
in
all
one
this in
setting
one
with.
sitting. Yeah, I did too. And I'd say I'm surprised I never really got bored. Like,
That's good.
sure, obviously anything that's 5 hours long, it's gonna be a little bit draining. But I was never really bored. And I would say that's because the characters are really entertaining to watch. And overall the movie's really entertaining, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
So, take with that what you will.
It made me want to do something like spontaneous. It made me want to go somewhere.
Yeah,
Like immediately after this, like I was like, I want to go on a road trip this summer, or I want to study abroad.
I
Like
remember that. I was like, he
it
probably just wants
it
to.
made me want to
You
like
know,
just like go out and like do something,
me
because
too.
I have this feeling of being like just feeling, especially with everything going on, is like I feel like I've like just been going to the same 3 places for months and months and months, and
Oh
it's
my
like,
god, I felt like that. Like I've just been stuck
and just like
in a loop.
watching this woman kind of just like, I love that they made, I think it's such a smart plot device to put give her that the bank robbery money in the beginning, just because it works as this
Mhm.
sort of
Yeah,
like, all right, money is kind of out of the picture now. This is not a movie where we're
money's
really
not a
concerned.
problem.
We're not
Yeah,
concerned with tackling those issues. We're just gonna let this girl kind of
go all over the
explore.
world. It's
And
crazy the budget this movie has.
And then it's just,
Yeah.
and that emphasizes
God
just
damn.
this movie is so beautiful, and I really like.
Yeah.
It felt like one that I wanted. I wish I could have seen it on like a big screen, and like, because this feels like sort of something you could experience as a community.
Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
theater. Just because
That's why I'm
it's
happy
just
I
really.
own it, because I'm definitely gonna watch it again. I want to watch it with like a bigger group of people, you know.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
fun.
I
I'm
think
trying
I
to
would
see it
watch
on
it
a
again.
projector. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
kind of a good like vibe movie too, especially the first half is like just like you even though there's a lot of like heavy plot stuff, you can kind of just like sit back and enjoy the settings and enjoy
Yeah.
like, the world,
What's the
seeing all these locations.
I love how this movie's like idea of like futuristic aesthetics is like modern art sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I loved all the little cars. I think it has a really cool like it like it doesn't go
It has
it
a
doesn't go
very
it doesn't
well
go
built world.
it doesn't go
Mhm.
too far with the sci-fi. It like
Yeah.
does just enough to make it feel like a different world. But
And
It's
it's like it's a
believable.
very 90s sci-fi movie too, with like with all the like little screens and stuff that they
You
have.
can see the person you're
and
talking to.
like I was saying before, I know it invented face zoom.
Yeah.
The last shot was like looked exactly
like
like a
how it's
Zoom
It was
meeting.
literally a Zoom meeting.
I was like,
at
oh my
that.
I like
God.
how the arm reached out and it was like a phone, and you had to talk into that while looking at a screen.
What
That
was the
my
monkey?
favorite
What was
technology.
the program, the detective program? Something like
Oh yeah,
Oh,
with
the
the
the-
fucking
CGI
Russian
monkey.
it was so
monkey!
weird. It was like
It
it's
was
like a weird
so
like Tim and
funny.
Eric thing. I was like, this is
It
sick.
was like open doors and be like, your person is.
But
It
yeah,
was
I also
so
love
odd.
like it just has these little like spatterings of world building enough to like remind you that like, oh yeah, the end of the world is kind of close. And I think it is funny that it was supposed to happen around like Y2K, like they had it be
Yeah,
on
I was
like
about to say, this is like,
I think
which coincides with like the idea of like the future and like technology and stuff, and that being like the real end.
I think the the bomb going off was handled kind of poorly. I thought
I
initially
wish you could have seen something.
not
Because
I
not
don't.
even
everything's so
that. I
detached
think
from
just
everything that's
there's
happening.
the bomb goes off and like that's what sets it into the second half of the movie, and I liked that aspect of it, but then of them being like, oh, the bomb must have went off, but you don't see anything. But then it's literally just like, oh, the bomb blew up in space, everything is fine, and it's like a
But like my thing is
2 minute
like I don't
scene.
think
And
that was ever like and I think that was all like on the back burner. Like that was just
yeah,
like
but
that was
in
like
the
just representative of like this fear of dying. I think
it
more than
The
looms
thing
over the
is,
first half so much that like it just
it's
was
not.
kind of like it felt like it wrapped up so perfectly and like so quickly, especially for a
Shit does that
5 hour movie,
sometimes.
that's
that
what
like it
I
just
kind of
felt
liked
like
that.
overly convenient and like kind of just like they were like, all right, we're just gonna throw that away for the second half, which is fine. It
There's
just
still like
felt wrapped up.
aftermaths of the bomb, and that's why I never felt like too disappointed by it, because they still talk about aftermaths. Like they're traveling through like this desolate Australia area,
Yeah,
and
that
like
part
you
I
can.
liked. That part I liked. But then once they get there, there's like one scene where they're like, "Oh, the bomb blew up in space. Everything is fine." And then
Well,
it's
I
like,
would say
okay,
that's more because they have a sense of community that are so like far detached from everyone else. So it'd be a little odd to have like huge exposition dumps about what's happening now in the world outside of that.
yeah, I no, I get why they got rid of it so quickly, but I just wish it was handled a little better. I think.
All right, that's fair.
I what do you guys think of that dream imagery towards the end?
Yeah,
I
super cool.
love
Loved it.
that. It was
Yeah.
extremely
It
unique.
it
I love
somehow
how they portray
managed to
dreams in
be
this as
toe
colors.
it somehow managed to toe the line between like beauty and terror in this
Mhm.
really great
Yeah,
way.
like some of them are terrifying. Like the cover of the Blu-ray is like the close-up of the faces in like black and white, and I think that was like some of the scariest ones.
Yeah, it is, but it's also like I found it to be like intentionally mesmerizing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Like you could understand why they got addicted to this and why they
Yeah.
kept watching.
Yeah, I'm trying
Because
to see
it-
like a collection of like
I'm
those
trying to get
shorts.
one of those devices.
and like I connected to that whole stuff because like I
No.
find myself like nowadays becoming so like so dependent on my own like consumption of various media that like I feel like I find myself like using like I find myself having to watch stuff or like read stuff at all times to like kind of get away from thinking about how things are.
Me
And like
too. I
Yeah.
mean,
that way
I've
I
been thinking
connected
about
that
like.
with
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that like I really connected with like that idea of like needing like becoming obsessed with this escapism. What were you gonna say?
Yeah.
I was basically just gonna say the same thing of like, especially now that the weather's bad and like it's dark at 5. It's.
Yeah.
I just thought I've just been thinking to myself like I've literally spent like the past like 3 days doing nothing but look at different screens and like just consume media all day
But it's
and
like
like
what
be completely detached from the rest of the world. Like the most like detached I've been from like the rest of the world is like reading something. And like that's still like you're still escaping from
Oh,
where you are.
What did I do?
yeah, it's just like
So
but it's like we don't really have sucks we don't really have an option right now, you know.
yeah, I mean we could go hang out with friends, but we're not gonna COVID.
Go to the bars.
Yeah, yeah, let's just go to a concert or something. to
How do you-
enjoy the
so-
real world. It's so funny that yeah, now no one has like any reason to be like, get these all these millennials are just coop up inside and don't do anything all day.
Right?
Get off your goddamn phone, boy.
Yeah, now it's
Go
like
outside.
now it's like all the boomers are like exactly those people, or they're like anti-maskers who are hurting
Gotta
the
stop doing
world.
that.
How do you okay, so I think another major to shift topics because I want to talk about this. I think the idea of like documentation is explored a lot in this and
Yeah.
how documentation pertains like memory, which I think we actually talked about this with Lost Highway, maybe last week or a week ago. But I think it's really interesting how they handled it. So many of the people in this are like so obsessed with like this documentation, whether it's writing or recording your own family for someone else to see. I think it gets into this idea
Or
of
just
like,
her with her camera.
yeah, there's a lot of those like digital or like handheld shots. This idea of like
Mm-hmm.
feeling the need to preserve your stories and preserve yourself in
Thing, even
in the
Eugene
digital-
writing
yeah, I said that.
writing it all down.
He
Oh, you said that.
writing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
God.
Way to kill the vibe. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's like a
it's-
meta aspect of the movie. Is
It's
him.
like there's
He writes the screenplay.
they're so obsessed with documentation because they're literally like facing down the end of the world, and they feel like we need to have a way to like live beyond this. There's got to be a way to live beyond this. And I think it gets into like sort of like our digital future.
And like there's meta aspects with Eugene, and that could explain why her boyfriend has such a miserable ending, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she has like a perfect ending.
Right?
How did you guys feel about the
Sucks
ending?
for him. I feel
I
like,
like-
I understand it. Like I can understand why they went the way they did, but it does seem a little bit like, hey, in your face, you little fucking girlfriend stealer.
I think it's
No
interesting
one
that
likes you when everyone's dead. You love.
I think it's
Yeah.
interesting that she ended up quite literally like trapped in a place.
Yeah,
You know what I
I thought
mean?
it kind of jumped the shark with the ending.
I didn't hate the ending.
I didn't hate it either,
I didn't
but like
either.
it did kind of jump the shark for me to have it just be. Although I guess it's more believable that in the future, in the future, they'd have like more. It'd be easier to just become an astronaut.
Yeah,
But-
I think there's some really like good stuff at the end. Like there's a couple lines where he calls it like the dance around the planet and talks about like watching her dance around the planet, which I think is like some really beautiful lines. That I really
Yeah, I really like
liked.
the opening too. Really beautiful imagery in the opening, like
glad.
little monologue the narrator does.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
use
And,
of a
like,
narrator too.
I've
Very
had to watch that
sparse.
3 times.
And
Mhm. Yeah, and like towards the end, I think there's some more interesting stuff where he talks about like in the end there were only images, just like getting into like the ideas of like documentation and preservation. And I think Wenders has more of a positive take on like this necessity of documentation, but I think it's like a
Yeah.
like sort of a like a skeptical positivity towards it, like just like wants to make sure that we don't get too sucked into it, obsessive over it. I don't know.
Already
A
had
good movie that
win.
just
Good job.
approaches like fears of the digital age really well. I think.
I would agree.
Yeah, so I liked
half
both
the shit she predicted
halves.
came true.
But like I think they work as like separate things. That's why I'd say you don't have to watch it as a whole, because the whole movie's pacing feels weird, but I think each section is paced well. But
Yeah.
like the pacing between each section is so different that like it's kind of odd watching it in one sitting and like to be like, oh, I guess we're just in Australia for the rest of the movie. It's very very
It's
unique
jarring,
experience
but-
and very jarring to be like, we've been all over the world and now we're just settled here and this is the movie now.
But they start a band, and he has the didgeridoo.
It's just
Loved
like
that scene. That scene's so
Yo, that shit was
so great.
bumping.
Yeah, that's where like I
Again,
think
the
they
music
do a
in
really
this-
good job of developing the characters and
I would say
developing
the
character
music
That's
interactions.
what-
character in this goddamn movie.
that's when it's like it gets into like I was saying about stuff set in apocalyptic times where the apocalypse itself gets put on the back burner because like no matter what, human relationships are always what's most important. I just love having that as a backdrop because it
Yeah.
does add these small little world building things. there's a funny part where they talk about like everyone in the world wanting to like keep the satellite up there or whatever, and then be like,
And
but
then
the
is
USA
like,
is
no, we're
gonna
blow it up.
USA is the only one that's
It's
gonna
gonna shoot it
shoot
down.
anyway.
I was like, shit, that's us.
shitting on like, okay, I see you're
Did
a
you-
sly
That's the most
dog.
accurate.
Did you
thing.
know that this movie was a flop when it came out, but the soundtrack was a hit?
I said that earlier.
Yeah, they have a song for this movie. It's a pretty good song.
All the music for this is great, but yeah, this movie cost a ton of money, and
It took
Wim
decades to
Wenders
make,
wasn't
right?
like a huge name, and it was a very small crew traveling all over the world, basically.
Dude, I bet this movie
And-
was so fun to make.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
just get that feeling that they
Yeah.
had so much fun making it.
But it's still really, really well made. It's
Hmm
so
Extremely
beautifully
well made.
shot.
I want to watch Paris, Texas ASAP.
Me too.
Me too. I've
Often
heard it
hailed
very
as his masterpiece. So
Except it has a problematic relationship in it.
does it really?
I bet it's like, I'm sure it
Two
is
guys.
purposeful.
That's not problematic, John. That's normal. Jeez.
Two guys. Sure. All right.
All right. Scores.
8.
8.
I'm going 8-2. Fuck.
Why are you fucking?
Yeah, what?
Because now I have to choose between Uncle Boonmee and this for my
I
favorite.
know, I've
movie
been-
of the year.
I've been
So-
juggling this all week.
Come on.
All right.
Come
Carter,
on.
would you like to go first?
I'm going Until the End of the World as my favorite. This is really, come on, this is really a struggle.
Yeah.
Come
John, you
on.
Of
can
course,
go,
it's not a
'cause
struggle
I'm
for
still
you.
thinking.
You liked it better than Uncle Booby.
I did
I'm
like it
torn
on
too.
Boonmee.
I might go Until the End of the World now, with the caveat that I think in the long run I'll end up liking Uncle Boonmee more.
I'm going Until the End of the World just because it strives for so much and it still succeeds. So I have to give it the edge.
Certainly ambitious.
Yeah,
Okay,
Very
super,
ambitious.
super ambitious.
3 for 3. That was the longest movie I've ever
Alright.
watched.
Yeah, me too.
I'm very glad it
Are
came
we
out very
doing
well.
Saint Tango? I mean, the S episode
Oh,
is
God.
coming up
Last episode, Showa, Satan Tango,
Seven Samurai.
seven. There's a movie called The Sorrow and the Pity that's 4
I
hours
just got
and
the
11
Criterion
minutes.
for Seven Samurai.
It's the only
Seven Samurai. I've
Criterion
already
I
seen
have.
Seven Samurai. It's so good. So we gotta
I
pick.
need
All
to
right,
another
but
one.
watch it.
however,
I
I
just
ask-
bought the Criterion.
I got a list of 4-hour-long movies. So
Don't care.
wait, I'm gonna
Ask.
check it out.
Don't get.
We're gonna do a movie recommendation.
Hold up. Wait. Star Spangled to Death. 7-hour experimental film about
All right, well,
America.
S is not the next letter.
Yeah, but when it is, we're doing Satan Tango Show Star Spangled to Death. 24 hours total
Hell yeah.
of media.
Okay. What's a movie rec?
Oh,
Something you
I wasn't
watched
prepared for
recently.
this. SpongeBob
Dang.
SquarePants, the movie, is incredible.
I'm
Probably
sorry,
my
I don't watch movies for babies.
Probably my favorite animated movie ever. One of my favorite movies ever.
Seriously.
Definitely. Also, Total Recall is really good.
Hell yeah, Total Recall is fucking great.
Nick, you're gonna need to explain your Casino Royale 6.
Yeah, Nick, that really was
And
pretty,
I
in
don't
your
know.
review, you say that the
pretty
opening
disturbing.
You say that the opening is bad?
Yeah, I
opening's
hated the
iconic.
opening for
One of the
Casino Royale.
all-time great openings.
No, he means like
No.
the opening credits, which I disagree.
Oh, the opening credits is
The
great.
The
fucking-
song sucks.
The cold
What?
The cold open into the needle drop is so good. And then just some sick
I don't
casino.
care. The
That
song
movie
sucks dick.
The song does
doesn't.
not suck.
Yeah, it does.
You're
That
so
movie
wrong.
kicks so
You're
much
so
ass.
wrong about the
No.
whole
It-
Mads Mikkelsen thing too.
I
Yeah,
think he's
that's-
wasted.
It's so shocking when he dies, and he still makes such a huge. He's still such a memorable character just
But then
by
that
his.
movie just patters on. Like nothing.
No,
really
it does
happened
not. The
after that.
third act's got that. It just sets up a twist at the end.
I agree that it
Which is
falters.
very
I agree
satisfying.
that it falters a little bit in the third act.
I agree as well, but I
goes
appreciate the
on-
fact they went with the twist by killing Mads Mikkelsen.
Just because I would consider that like end of the second act almost.
yeah, that's what. And then the third act is where
I'm
he
saying like
finds out his girl.
I don't
cheated
like
on
how
him and
that's what I'm
stuff.
saying. I don't like how lovey-dovey Bond gets all of a sudden.
It's so
It's-
over the
It
top.
seems-
though.
seems yeah, that's what I'm
simp.
saying. It seems a little
Bond's not a simp. He
That's what I'm-
fucks
It's
and
so over
leaves.
the-
That's what he does.
Yeah, but then once she cheats on him, it becomes so crazy because he's
know
like, I don't care about that bitch, and it's just pure
He's the
hatred
best.
and a murder machine.
That movie is great because it understands how fucking cool Bond is supposed to be and not this old crotchety dude.
This old
they
rapey
turned
crotchety dude.
Bond is literally like the biggest sex symbol in this movie. There's so many shots of him like on the beach or with like a tight ass bathing suit. He sucks on her fingers in the shower for some reason in the
That
greatest
movie-
scene.
That movie being PG-13 is insane as well.
It's brutal.
It's so violent.
There's
It's
balls.
so-
I thought
There's
it's more
testicle
brutal,
torture.
man.
There's
If-
cock and ball torture.
if that wasn't like a big budget movie, that would definitely get an R rating. There's definitely some money thrown to the MPAA
Oh.
to give
that
that a
movie's crazy
PG-13.
because
I'm
it
just
starts
saying,
with
Straight
I
like
like Skyfall more.
it starts with
I haven't seen
two-
Skyfall.
It starts with two
great.
incredible action set pieces, and then
One of the greatest action set pieces of all time.
oh my god, are you talking about the very first one?
Yes.
Yep.
When he
It's
fucking
absolutely
drives
incredible.
that bulldozer through like that
Yeah.
massive field of
The
like
four major action set pieces are all fucking awesome. Even the one like in the stairwell, I think is really cool.
oh yeah, so cool. And the poker scene, it manages to go from
That's what I'm
amazing
saying.
action
This-
scenes to
that's what I was
effortlessly
saying.
flowing into a
This
poker
movie
scene that's
goes
still
from,
so
like,
entertaining.
Two bonkers and over the top action set pieces, and then it's just a fucking poker game for like an hour, and it's still awesome.
It's still
It's
so
just
entertaining.
it's Daniel Craig and Mads Mikkelsen just Bond gets fucking poisoned during it and then has to stumble
Comes
out.
back.
It's what a movie.
One of the best action
And then
movies,
the
in
ending
my
line.
opinion.
I mean, come on.
How do you
come on.
not when that bom 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 at the end. You don't
That's
you
how they
don't feel
all end.
emotions from that.
I wish he said.
Yeah, but I
That's how they
mean,
all
when you
end.
watch shitty
But
Quantum
this
of
is the
Silence,
first. This is the
I
first
mean,
one.
Quantum
haven't
of
seen Quantum of
Solace.
This is the
Solace.
first
I have to
new
see it
one,
still.
though.
Oh, I was
I'm
gonna say, if
dreading
you
it.
like Quantum of Solace, you
I'm
just
dreading watching
bond
that one.
crazy.
I've heard bad things.
That's the
It's so
shortest.
bad.
Skyfall though.
It's the shortest one, though.
Skyfall.
I gotta watch Skyfall.
The new one looks
Oof,
really good.
I love Skyfall. Spectre?
The
No,
new one.
The new one. No Time to Die.
Oh, the
Looks
one that's not out
good.
yet.
I
I'm
heard
very excited for that
Spectre
one,
is
too.
not good. I have not
I
seen
don't fucking
Spectre.
remember a single thing from Spectre, and I've seen it. So
I've
that's
got to
not
see Sky.
boding
I've got
well.
to see Skyfall and
I got that Craig
Spectre.
collection.
I'm excited
maybe.
for Skyfall. I got them all on
Skyfall's
Blu-ray.
so
I
good in my
gotta
opinion.
I got them all in 4K.
work my through.
I got
Okay,
'em all in
whatever.
4K.
Okay, whatever.
Should I
And
show
I'll say this.
Should I show
like
the
Casino
PS5?
Royale. You guys make it seem like I don't like Casino Royale.
You
I
don't.
do.
Motherfucker gave it a 6. What the hell?
Yeah, I
That's
gave
the
it a
same
6.
score he
That's
gave on
positive.
That's the same score he gave Umberto D.
Okay, well, I gave Umberto D the same score as Casino.
Okay, well,
Royale.
Casino Royale is better than all these movies.
I don't know. Well, yes, I would probably agree with that.
What is
but
the next episode? Why are we talking about
Well, no, we're
this?
supposed to do
just
My
Casino-
recommendation is Memories of Murder. Zodiac, but better.
So
I really like
fucking-
Zodiac.
I do too. I think Memories of Murder
I
is
love
better.
Zodiac. Zodiac's one of my favorite movies.
Well, you're wrong. No, I'm kidding. I love Zodiac too. I'm just saying Memories of Murder is better. And it did it first.
What did I give Zodiac? Did I review Zodiac? Oh, no, I watched that like 2 years ago.
Next episode is the
And-
one we've all been dreading.
Wait, Nick
I
didn't get to
even
pick
a
one.
fucking recommendation.
Yeah, you did.
What did he recommend?
What did I pick then?
Casino Royale.
I didn't fucking pick
Skyfall. You picked Skyfall.
You picked
You picked
Skyfall. You said
Skyfall.
Skyfall was better
Whatever.
than.
Sure, I'll say Skyfall.
No.
No, pick your own one.
Antonio Banderas is one of the best Bond villains.
Okay, so it's
Antonio
Mads
Wenders.
Mikkelsen. Your point is.
Oh my fucking god! Don't
Yo,
even
it's
get me
so
goddamn
crazy
started.
that Philip Seymour Hoffman is a Mission Impossible villain. And he
That's so
carries that.
sad.
He carries 3.
Nick, do you have a pick?
Nick's pick.
Go watch Naked Lunch. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's good.
What the hell?
Nick, you picked a movie that you. Okay.
All right.
I bought the Criterion, so
See, I don't know. What if you hate it?
I don't know.
You can resell it.
I own Serenity.
Well, that's like a
Yeah,
goof.
but you purchased
It's a
Serenity
gag.
after seeing it because you liked it
Motherfucker,
so
I
much.
have Sing.
Yeah, I got you. I got you that as a joke.
All right. Well, I bought the
Well-
Resident Evil collection. So
Yeah, don't even.
Those
get me
cl-
started.
those
okay. Well,
greats.
I paid like $15 for. That's like $3 a movie.
I didn't pay anything for Naked Lunch. I got a gift card and I bought that.
Okay, well, you could use the gift card on a movie that you've seen.
Why would I do that? I've already seen it.
Wait, you've never bought a Criterion that?
What's the fun? in
haven't
not rolling
watched
the
before?
dice?
I
You
try to
motherfuckers
buy
like
ones that
Casino
I know
Royale
I
so
like.
much, but you don't even want to take bets.
Take bets.
I bought some
just saying-
Criterions I haven't. I bought Andrei Rublev and Brighter Summer Day.
I hadn't seen this and I bought it.
Fans
Look
of the
how that turned out.
podcast might, long-time
Oh, and
listeners
sh-
might recognize.
Can't even.
We
It's
can't
Qui-Gon,
see
I
it.
can tell,
we can't
but-
see it.
Damn it.
It's Qui-Gon.
Fans of the long-time
I
listeners.
bought Showa too, and I haven't seen that.
Are we watching that when I come back?
Yeah, maybe.
I own like all 3 cuts of Apocalypse Now. I still haven't seen it. I
Really?
really want
Wait, you
to.
haven't seen Apocalypse
yeah, I
Now?
really want to.
And you own all 3 cuts?
Yeah.
Wait, you
it's
own
one
the
of those
final
things
cut?
where, like,
Do you own the final cut? I haven't seen the
Yes, I
final
do.
cut.
I have all 3 cuts.
What the
I heard the
hell?
Redux edition isn't even good.
I have it, but I haven't seen it.
Does that make it
I
longer?
planned on
Yeah, they just
planned
get
on having
increasingly
one night where
It
I
long.
doesn't
just
need to be
watched all
longer. It needs to
3
be like,
cuts.
if anything, a tad shorter.
The original cut is literally perfect. I don't know why he keeps releasing longer and longer
Hey,
cuts.
he's putting out
I heard
the.
the
You
newest
see,
one
he's doing
was
the
the
Godfather
best.
3.
Oh, really? I gotta
Yeah.
check it out then.
He's remaking Godfather.
Hang on,
3.
let me grab that real quick. I'll be back in a second.
The original Apocalypse Now is literally like perfect. I don't know why he doesn't need to like Blade Runner it.
I've got the final cut, the Redux, and the original cut.
Damn, you got
This
that nice
motherfucker's
little
sh-
case
This
too, and
motherfucker's just showing off now.
yeah, and he hasn't
14
even seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. You're right, but it comes with really
Can
cool
I
art
just
on the
Can I
inside.
just take that from you? And
I
I'll give
have
you I'll give you a
Buy
movie
yourself,
I
it's like
bought that I
20
don't like.
bucks.
I have the Chan collection over there. I haven't seen that.
Which one? Police Story and
Yeah.
Police Story 1 is great. Police Story 1 so fun.
All right. Okay, we're rambling on. This is going to be the longest episode at this rate.
This
Of all
this is going to
time.
be our until the end of the world episode.
I know.
All right, let's wrap things up.
All right.
Let's
Next
wrap
week is the
things
letter
up.
we've all been dreading. X. Lots and lots of movies to pick from. It was a difficult choice this week. We all had at least 4 or 5 that we had to decide between.
I don't even know what mine is called. I forgot the name.
I know it. I know
Is it
your movies better than you.
X the Man from Outer Space?
Nope.
X the Monster from Outer
Let's see
Space.
how long it takes him to get it. Nope.
It's
X
actually man with something.
No, don't.
No, the man with X-ray powers.
Close.
X the Man from Outer Space with X-ray powers.
Oh,
Oh, X the Man with X-ray powers from outer space.
nope.
X the Man with X-ray powers.
No, close.
What is it?
X the man with X-ray eyes.
Oh, so close.
Oh my god. Where are you getting outer space from?
Wait, there's 2 of them.
Thought it was from outer space.
It's by Roger Corman.
Oh, I feel like I've heard that name before.
Didn't he
Runtime of
make
79
Shopping Mall?
minutes.
What? Yeah. What did Roger
Wait.
Corman make?
Roger Corman. Why do I fucking recognize
Pit and the
that name?
Pendulum.
He's just a famous old director. Yeah.
He did like the OG Little Shop of Horrors.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, that's my pick. X. Obviously, I'm a huge enthusiast of this film. X the Man with.
I picked
X-ray
Triple X,
X.
baby. Triple X.
I am
He
excited for it.
He made Death Race 2000.
No, he didn't. He didn't make it. That was the
He was
guy
a
who made.
producer.
Yeah, the guy who made Eating Raoul made Death Race 2000. I forgot his name too.
My choice is Triple X, starring Vin Diesel. I'll be playing Vin Diesel's music on the show. Actually, I'll play it right now.
It's one of those kind of nights. I'm not trying to get copyright striked.
What is Vin
Ladies
Diesel gonna
and-
come after me?
Vin Diesel's gonna watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, all my
They use
fanboys of
bots.
comic books. I know you guys have been watching this podcast being like, where are the superhero movies at? Well, I've heard your cries. My choice is X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
I chose the best one.
X-Men Origins Wolverine, is that the one that everyone hates?
No, it's the one everyone loves. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
90% on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm pretty sure. Don't think that.
What does it have?
It won the best Oscar for makeup.
Oh, really? So did Suicide Squad.
Yeah, so that always told well.
Yeah.
It also won best soundtrack, best screenplay, written by Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood wrote the screenplay for X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, but
Wait, what?
Jackman's only killing black people, so I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, the
understand.
movie's supposed to be racist as hell.
Is it really? X-Men Origins?
Wait, is
Wait.
it actually?
Allegedly,
just pulling
there's
that out
some.
my ass.
No, there's some questionable stuff going
Oh,
on. with
shit.
it, I think.
I didn't know that.
Sweet.
I've
Of
never
course
seen
So
it
we'll
would
have
be
to-
Nick. Of
we'll have to
course it
tread-
would be Nick.
We'll have to
this. I've
tread
never
lightly.
seen this movie.
We'll have to tread lightly when discussing.
I just saw the 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Does it really have a 90%? on Rotten
No,
Tomatoes?
it doesn't. It's like a 2%.
Why do you
Rotten
lie?
Tomatoes.
Why do you lie to us?
Because
Nick
I hide the truth.
accidentally picked the racist movie.
Oh, not again.
Wow. Wow.
Wah, wah.
Wait, has Nick picked racist movies before?
King Kong.
No, I feel like that's
Yeah, King Kong.
Well, you said it yourself
Oh,
that it was
and-
racist.
Oh,
Nick.
I forgot to mention, until the end of the world, there's casual Asian racism. Remember when the main girl's like, "Hello,
Oh
I'm
God,
in
yeah, I
Asia."
forgot about that.
Do you remember that? So Nick is
I
just consistently picking movies that have Asian racism in it. That looks
How
awesome.
cool that poster is. Who's that guy in the background?
That is a pretty badass poster. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm looking forward to this. Who
Very
needs
exciting
Logan when you
episode.
have X-Men Origins?
Yeah, I think the X episodes might be a little bit.
And then
like
after
the-
that, we have
the infamous Q episode.
Q.
All right, as I like to call it, the Q drop.
And then after that, there's 2 more letters. Isn't that crazy?
What are the
God,
2
like that
letters? There's only
season
2 more
finale.
letters.
Actually, there's 3. There's 3. I
Okay,
lied.
what's the S?
SPY.
Spy.
SPY. I've already picked mine.
I don't know mine. Are we doing Saint Tango?
It's gonna be a spy special. Dun,
No, let's not
dun.
do Saint Tango.
Spy
My-
Kids.
My Blu-ray won't come in.
Whatever, we're not
time.
picking it now. We're heading out. This is the longest episode, I think, by far.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, I got shit to do.
Yeah, I gotta go. All right.
What the fuck do you guys have to do?
Good job, guys. Good talking.
I'm a full-time hustler.
Yeah, I'm a full-time gangster. I
Yeah,
don't know
rent
what
to
you're
pay.
talking
I'm
about.
not trying. I'm not trying to end up like Umberto. Fucking
Mr.
Alright.
broke ass.
I'm trying to be
bitch.
a landlord when I grow up.
Okay. Hannah.
Just
trying to be
evict
Gotti.
poor people.
Yeah, it's like a
Jeez.
video game achievements.
Yeah, it's the more people you
You kicked
ruin,
out the family.
the more lives you ruin, the more points you get. As a
Goodbye.
landlord.
Triple kick
We're leaving.
combo.
Thank you for listening.
Goodbye, thank you.
Sorry if
If
this
you-
is sorry if this was an
Alright,
ass
goodbye.
show.
If you liked this video, leave a comment saying, "Oh, I like this video."
Nice job,
If
guys.
you don't
Keep it
like
up.
This video in 3 minutes, the catfish will be in your
Yeah,
car.
the
Monkey
the
ghosts
monkey
will be at your
out.
doorstep.
Next time
Be in
you
your
look out your
closet.
window, you'll see those red eyes.
2 red eyes.
and you
peeking
just
in.
can't resist having sex with them.
And when you're scrolling down our Patreon page, imagine Umberto's little doggy with his hat out. Please, please,
Please.
Fike, please.
Fike, Filk, Flick.
It was
All right.
Flick. Flick.
Give us a
Movies?
little bit of
Click.
money. Come on,
Click.
come on now. Just a
Come
little
on,
bit.
we need money. You see how much
If you
work we
give
put
us
into this. I
money-
don't even remember my movie.
Happy birthday,
I
Martin
will
Scorsese. Thank you for listening.
Is this
Goodbye.
gonna
If we
come
get
out